So, I want to start by saying a couple of things, actually, on this video. Thank you straight away for your support. Thanks for watching the video. If you could like, subscribe, join me on this journey, because this is a community and one that I want to see grow. I want to help. I want to just share my experiences in all of this and hope it helps. And I also like to listen and engage with others because it also helps me. Doing this is really helpful to me. I'm not just, this isn't just about me giving, this is also, I'm getting a lot back from it as well. So I just want to thank you for comments and everything else, and it's been a really good response so far, because in fact we're only a few videos in, do you know what I mean, to this channel. It's been really good. So if you can help me grow, like, subscribe, and also share with others as well that you feel that could benefit possibly from watching this. The second thing I want to say is today, as I sit here and record this, it's 3 years. I've hit the 3 year mark of no alcohol, no drink in 3 years, which is honestly, it's insane to say. It's still, I sort of stay, I'm taken aback by it actually, because this was impossible a few years ago. This was absolutely impossible. I never would have got to this mark. It wasn't long ago in my mind that I was walking past a pub and I didn't go in, and I rung my missus and said, I didn't go in for a drink. I didn't go in for a drink. That's how much I was gripped and by it all, and couldn't get out of it. And I was like cheering and celebrating the fact I didn't go into a pub. So to be at a point now where I'm like, I haven't actually had a drink in 3 years is insane. So I'm honestly, this is not bragging at all. It's far from it. It's just, I want people that are struggling, that are watching this, to thinking, I just can't get through it. I'm never going to be able to get there. I was there, and I was absolutely in a position where I never felt I was going to get through. I never ever felt I was going to be able to stop. So to be where I am now is just proof that you can do it. Like, and honestly, I can't stress enough. Like, it's, once you're through the toughest parts of it all, it does ease up, and life just gets so much better, and it just continues to do so. Um, but this video today, although I'm in a, I'm pleased to be where I'm at, I do have to go back to a point, because this is an important part of this journey, was those moments of hitting rock bottom, those moments where it was like, I have to stop. And I think it's, although I want to give advice on here, I also want to share my side of things, so hopefully people can relate and maybe feel like, okay, well, if you're able to talk about this, maybe that I can be honest with myself, because I think it's very easy to lie to yourself. Like, I did it for so long. I kidded myself I was fine and just kept telling myself everything was all right. We're really good at that, I think, people. We're really good at lying to ourselves and kidding ourselves. It's stick your head in the sand and pretend everything's okay. I did it for so long. Um, but when you refer to rock bottom moments, a lot of people talk about this when they get sober, is they say, "Oh, what was the rock bottom moment?" I tend to think there's more than one. I think most people, it's very unlikely you're going to have just one. I have one that sticks out, but I've had quite a lot of moments where I thought, oh, this has to stop. But there is one moment which I'm going to share with you in a minute. Also, I want to stress as well that if you're someone that's really had a bad moment, or you considered a rock bottom, this is the lowest I've felt, the lowest moment, but then you've then got back to drinking, don't fret, because I actually still did the same, and I will share that on this in this video today. So basically, I stopped drinking in August 2023. The 10th of August 23 was my first day of sobriety. So the 9th of August was my final day of drinking, right? And but my rock bottom moment, although that 9th of August was a big moment, I've spoken about it previously, where I went out and got absolutely hammered, because basically I was trying to stop, and I'd stopped for quite a while, for a couple of weeks at that point, and I'd been having big gaps between drinking, and I ended up falling to drinking. But I'm actually grateful it happened, because I got so obliterated, I got so drunk, and it was a horrendous experience. But it was like that final rubber stamp. It was like, right, it's time, you're done, you draw a line under it. But that wasn't my necessarily rock bottom moment that sticks out, a rock bottom moment that really resonates. The one that really sticks out was the Christmas prior to that year, so Christmas of 2022. Um, it was horrendous. It was a really bad moment for me, and I'm going to share it with you. So that Christmas, I'd this was the moment where I decided then. Well, no, I decided when I knew I had to stop drinking. I knew it had to stop, and basically we have at our local, my children go to school where I live locally, the kids go to school up the road, our friends there who have children at the school, all the sort of parents that we hang out with, kind of thing. our friends did a sort of Christmas party at the end of the year. So basically, the kids break up for school. It was on the Friday, and they said, right, we're going to have a house party that evening. So pick the kids up from school, go home, get changed, and then come round our house, bring a couple of bottles of drink with you, and all that kind of stuff. We'll have a good night. Bearing in mind, you pick the kids up for what, 3:30. So we come back, got changed. I think we were at their house about 4:30, right? I think it was quite early. Christmas time, obviously, there's lots of wine going, and we bought a couple of bottles ourselves. And basically just started drinking as you do. And I don't know about you watching this, but I was one of the drinkers where once I started drinking, once I had basically had a couple of drinks, my appetite just went. I'm not very good at having a drink and then going, right, I need to kind of balance this out and not get drunk. Once I start drinking, I'm drinking, and I've got no interest in food, none, no interest at all. So that's where you can kind of imagine where I was at. So I was straight into it. And the drink was flowing. It was a fun night, a fun evening, and it went on and on. And the wheels started coming off. Really did start coming off quite badly with everyone that was there. A friend of ours was very, very hammered, and she basically left the party in a bit of a state. My wife went after her. My wife was really drunk as well, and basically we'd lost sort of, because we'd been drinking for so long. We're talking now probably about 10 o'clock at night. Bearing in mind, right, our children were quite young as well, so even that in itself now makes me look back and think, oh, it's not very nice for my children to be up that late. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're probably having a great time because their schoolmates were there, but it wasn't very responsible of us to be sort of at that age to be keeping them up late, and we had no desire to stop either. But as I say, there was a bit of drama in the house. One of the girls left. She was a bit drunk. My wife went after her. She left me with the kids, and I'm like, oh, I've got to take the kids home. I remember walking down the road, leaving the party with them. There's ice on the floor. I'm taking the kids back. I could barely walk. I mean, literally, I was absolutely out of my head. So really dangerous as well, looking back at it. But this is what the worst part was. We got back. I decided to have a drink again. This is kind of how it was. Met my wife. We came back, added more drinks, and I was just so drunk. And um, basically, I mean, it was, to be honest with you, it was a blur. But I remember basically being so drunk that I basically started falling down the stairs. At one point, I came downstairs, slipped on the stairs, fell down, and it was in front of my children, and I was in a really bad way. And their faces, it genuinely, like, it's tattooed in my mind. It's like I'll never ever leave it. But I'm glad it is, because it was a moment that made me realise that I had to change, I had to stop. But they were terrified. Like, they looked genuinely scared to be around seeing their dad in that state. Um, and genuinely, like, it actually breaks my heart thinking about it, because you just want nothing but the best for your children. Do you know what I mean? You want them just to protect them and wrap them up, and do not want them exposed to anything like that. And to think that I was the reason for it. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to protect them from the outside world, but inside their safe haven of home, they've got a dad that's basically falling into walls and can't stand up and in a terrible state. And I genuinely like it. And even though I was so drunk, I can still picture their faces now. It's not something I like to do a lot because it genuinely, like, breaks my heart. Like, it's hard to do this video talking about it. I'm gonna be honest, it was really, awful moment in my life. It was so dark, and it broke my heart. It absolutely shattered me. I remember waking up the next day, and it was just, I was basically, I'll be honest, I was in tears. I was broken. It broke me in two. Bearing in mind, it's supposed to be a nice time of year. Do you know what I mean? Children finish school, breaking up for Christmas, all the magic of Christmas, and it just felt like I put a sledgehammer through it, really, because I could just see that it really affected them, and they. I mean, I could sort of sense it the next day. It sensed probably for a few days that they were a bit wary. It was almost like, I've seen you now in a different light. I don't like what I've seen, and I had to explain to him. Do you know what I mean? Daddy just had too much to drink. I'm really sorry, but I remember that being the moment. I remember that being a moment when I was like, this has to stop now, because no longer is this now just affecting you, affecting your wife, affecting everybody else. It's now affecting, like, your children, the ones you want to protect so much. And it really was it was a moment. It was that moment. Then I realised this has to stop. Now, look, I didn't stop that day. In fact, I'm pretty sure I drank quite heavily over that Christmas, but I didn't get into a state anymore. I was very conscious of that. Like, I was very conscious at that point, like, not to get into that kind of level of state. I don't think I ever really, apart from the last time I drank when I went out with work, I came back late really drunk. Apart from that, I didn't really have too many moments after that where I was absolutely obliterated drunk. I mean, I got drunk, but never into a really bad state. That was one of the worst I'd been in terms of my last times. Um, but it was a moment, and I'm sharing this with you because I want to be able to realize that it's fine to have that. You know, like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying fine like, oh, it's great to do that to your children. It's not. It still hurts me today, even though it's been now 3 years, and I think I've made amends for that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've given a lot back now to my children and my family in terms of my sobriety, and obviously I've been able to invest more time and effort and take them out and do nice things with family. So I feel like I've rebuilt that bridge, but it's still a moment that I look back on. And it's, to be honest with you, I'm quite glad I've got it, because anytime I've ever had moments of feeling like I'm going to relapse or I'm going to go back and to drinking, then I feel like I can think back to that moment and think, I'm never doing that again. Never, ever, ever doing that again to my children, ever. Um, yeah, because it's not fair. They don't need to witness someone not being able to walk. Is their dad? Who's supposed to be their guardian, looking after them, and then there I am, barely being able to walk, be able to stand up, and can't talk. It's not good. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Not easy to talk about, I'm going to be honest, but I'm glad I have, because I hope it helps you. I hope that maybe me talking about these things makes you think, yeah, do you know what? Maybe I need to make these changes, and maybe it isn't, you don't need to feel so bad and feel like you're the only person in the world. You're not. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'll have more videos coming. I am going to start getting to more of a rhythm with this channel. I appreciate at the moment it's a little bit hit and miss, because I'm just trying to find the time slots to get things to right. But I will. My aim is to have it Sunday evenings and Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. That's what I want to intend to do. But I appreciate at the moment I'm slightly off. It's only because I've had a lot going on at the moment. But I will get into a decent rhythm with it. But look, I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back very soon. And feel free to leave your comments and ask me questions, or also give me some pointers of what you'd like me to do videos on, because I'm happy to share. So I'm being very open, and I'm happy to give advice, or I'm happy to share stories. So just let me know what you'd like me to do. Anyway, look, have a good one. Speak to you soon.